It's just about the biggest job up for grabs in the AFL world. The Tasmania senior coaching role will be extremely challenging, but with the recent announcements around list and draft concessions, it has the potential to be an extremely attractive proposition. The stadium concerns are still in the forefront of everyone's mind, but more positive media around the club has emerged, and it is mostly to do with the potential candidates for the top job. So who is in line for the senior coaching position, and what resources will they have at their disposal to get the team competitive from day one? One of the biggest coaching fishes in the pond is Nathan Buckley. He has been the first vocal name to throw his hat in the ring and is clearly exploring the possibility of being the club's first senior coach. There's a chance, Buckley told SEN on Monday when asked if he could coach the Devils, adding he had met Gale twice last year. The initial one was from him, and then the second one was from me to understand the challenge that the Devils faced and how they are going to build that club. The coaching bug is still there, but I'm really enjoying what I'm doing at the moment. Initially, it feels like a perfect fit. Buckley as Collingwood coach has been through it all. Big struggles early on, which led to him almost getting sacked, an evolution of his own which helped guide the Pies to a 2018 grand final, and now a big presence in the media and time to sit back and see the trends of the game and how other coaches are deciphering the sport. At 52, Buckley is out of the game long enough to have been refreshed, but also isn't a decade removed from it and completely out of touch. He is experienced, has proven success, and already has the knowledge of what it's like coaching the biggest club in the country. Now, a brand new club is a whole new challenge, but not many are better equipped. Devils CEO Brendan Gale said, "We won't be taking it to the market. We will find a handful of people who can tick some boxes, and clearly Nathan is one of them. I have always had a high regard for him. He did a very good job at Collingwood. It's hard to win flags. It's not easy coaching Collingwood. It's a big club. It's hard to coach and manage and lead, and it wasn't always smooth sailing under his tenure, so he was very successful. We have really enjoyed our discussions, and there will be more of them." John Longmire, Adam Simpson, and Ken Hinkley will also be in the mix, and Damien Barrett wrote on AFL.com that Chris Scott, the current Geelong coach, is still the dream option. This narrative will build as Scott is out of contract in 2026, which would be around the time the coaching call is made. Like Buckley, he ticks most of the important boxes, but it would be hard to leave such a stable club in Geelong to Tasmania. Chris Fagan recently ruled out coaching the Devils. Keyword there is coaching. A general manager or football boss role is critical in any club's success. Gale will be looking for what the industry calls good football people to take up a type of role like this. You would think Fagan would be perfect, and Hinkley the same. They work well with people, are well liked and respected. Coaching itself is a big job, and a role behind the scenes like a general manager of football doesn't face nearly as much media attention. It would be fitting to see Fagan back in his home state and be one of the key members behind the scenes to help organise and direct the club. Even Longmire and Simpson could slot into place in a role like this, but do seem destined to be senior coaches again or stick with their current part-time roles in the media. But the build of this inaugural list will come down to two men, former Collingwood list boss Derek Hine and up-and-comer Todd Patterson, who was Melbourne's AFLW list boss. It's the classic mix of experience and youth that will decide where to spend Tassie's money and who to pick with their draft selections. Hine and Patterson are predicted to have a lot to work with. It's interesting, as only a few months ago Brendan Gale, in an interview with AFL.com, warned that the Devils' initial concessions didn't look as strong as the GWS Giants or Gold Coast Suns. Nothing is official yet, but the concessions at this point look pretty damn good. Under the AFL's current proposal, Tasmania would be handed picks 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11 and 13 in their first draft, which is set to be in 2027. However, 4 of those picks, 5, 7, 9 and 13, would come with a caveat that they must be traded, setting the market for rival clubs to also cash in on the extra early selections at the top of the draft. The next 2 years would see the Devils gain picks 5 and 9 alongside their own first round pick, but be forced to depart with the 2 pick 5s. Throwing $1.8 million in sign-on bonuses over 2 years, the ability to get one uncontracted player as a free agent from each club, and access to 9 17-year-olds who will sit out the 2027 draft. Now, not all of these things might make it in the final concession list, and maybe some other things will be added, but it is a sign that the Devils will have more than enough to get this team kick-started. But the Devils want more. A recent AFL.com article revealed the club wanted access to Next Generation Academy and Northern Academy players. Now, father-sons at this point will not be included, which makes sense, but it would open up the next few drafts when Tassie comes in, and makes clubs who have access to NGA and Club Academy players very nervous that their own players that they have developed might get picked off by Tasmania. I have a feeling those clubs won't be in favour, but it goes to show you how aggressive the Devils are in making sure they can squeeze as much as possible in terms of player access and concessions to build a very strong football club right away. But one of the points in being forced to trade out picks for players might also benefit other clubs who are likely to get overs for certain players, so there's also list strategy in that aspect as well for the entire competition. The duo has also shown no shame in naming the type of players they will target. Brisbane's Zach Bailey was already mentioned on an SEN radio interview, and Tasmanian natives in Colby McKercher, Riley Sanders and James Leake, all selected in the first round of the 2023 draft, have been linked and even were as soon as they were picked up. The AFL themselves has made it public that they want the team to be good from day one, so there will be significant names leaving their clubs and heading south. But the first big domino to fall will be the senior coach. Gale has made it clear a brand new coach will be highly unlikely, and I think most people can guess the realistic options. Nathan Buckley is certainly one, and he would be easy to get as he has no contract with another AFL program. If he wants to take on the challenge and feels the resources are good enough, the Collingwood icon will become the first icon for the Tasmania Devils Football Club.